down on the bottom left-hand side. We'll fix up that overlay. Down at the bottom left-hand side, he is a Terran player who has been around for quite a while. We all, I'm sure we all know this Swedish player who has done some really good work across some of his matches and in some of the tournaments he's been in. Of course, we are talking of Sjow. And his opponent up in the top left-hand side as our Red Zerg player. We've seen him already. I've done a cast of this guy. He played a really interesting game. Who was against? I think it was against, I want to say, was it Jdong? I can't remember. Whoever was watching yesterday can remind me. But it is, of course, from Playing with Fire, Zypher. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Jdong that he played against. And they had a reasonably quick series. Of course, going up against a Tyrant is something that I'm sure anyone would fear. But Zypher handled it with grace and did his best to try and take Jdong down, but unfortunately was not able to do it. So, we are, of course, on Star Station. 2 Swedish players fighting it out. We'll find out who is going to take the victory here. We did see another sort of vertical positions game between a Terran and a Zerg earlier tonight. If you were watching, oh yeah, the races. Wait, did I fix the races? Yes, I did. Yeah, so, so we did see another vertical position game earlier tonight between Pig and of course Poyo, where they had a very interesting battle that went from a 2 racks match into a very awesome reversal from Pig. So that was pretty damn interesting. But it looks like this time, Sjow is not going to be planning out any sorts of early cheese shenanigans. Zypher going to be playing very standard with the spawning pool coming up shortly after the hatchery. The extractor going down as well. Wants to get enough gas coming in so that he can be prepared for any possible Reaper-based openings from Sjow. So we'll see if he's going to change that up upon scouting out what Sjow is up to. A little bit interested by this this Overlord is sort of not turning around, and we don't have a drone scout from Zypher either, so he won't know that there is actually no real threat of a Reaper right at the start. Sjow is actually doing a build which I have started to see a lot of people do, which is this, you come down to the natural and you actually build your first racks goes down here, leaving a bit of space for the reactor, and then you can either wall off kind of like that way, or you can do it the way which Sjow is about to do it, which is sort of a little bit different to that. He's actually going to put the second supply depot around about there, so he's got a nice full wall off. In fact, he's going to change it up completely. We are going to go straight for that factory there, but this is something which has started to become a pretty popular way to open up for Terran players on this map. Now, the reason that this is not too bad as a way to open up is simply because it's a very big map. The distance you have to traverse to get across the map, whether you're Zerglings or whether you're Marines, is a very long way. So it's very simple to go for a fast expansion and then be pretty safe as you expand like this. So Sjow is going to be opening us up with a few reacted Hellions, no doubt about that. We do have now 1 gas active inside the main, a second one also building. Shout out to some of our Swedish fans in the chat. Hello to all you crazy cats. Hasselhoff87. Anyway, so yeah, this is where like I kind of feel like Zypher would have really liked to have a drone scout, because he did go for very early metabolic boost, but he doesn't necessarily need it straight away. And as we can see, his 6 Zerglings that he got out, this is a very standard sort of safe precaution to deal with Reapers that come out on the map. You get your speed up very quickly, you get some lings out, and then you can deal with the possibility of Reapers jumping inside the main base. But of course, we can see that, you know, Zypher hasn't had to deal with that. The only thing he's had to deal with is the fact that he doesn't actually know anything. So we can see now that the first 2 of the Hellions are now out. We've got the front door is very well protected. A couple of supply depots blocking the way there. So Sjow is going to send out these first couple of Hellions, wants to see what's going on. But we do see back in the main, or in fact at the natural base of Zypher, he's got a roach run on the way. So it looks like he will try and protect himself with some roaches instead of getting out a lot of lings. Unless he may go for a bust, I suppose that's always possible as well. We've seen a couple of roach-based builds. Oh yeah, Sweden. Go Sweden, the home of home of awesome internet, and in fact, yeah, it may be a bus play coming out of Zypher here. He's got 10 roaches on the way, and yeah, we've pretty much confirmed it now. 10 roaches, we've got some lings out here. What he does need to do is stop these hellions. He cannot let those hellions inside, and, you know, even if he has to sacrifice these lings, I would say that's probably worth it. So, Sjow microing about, he may be a little bit suspicious about the fact that Zypher was very, very adamant about sending in those lings to battle, but the 10 hellions are now on the way. We can see that Sjow, I don't know if Sjow actually saw the roaches that were coming across, but neither did Zypher see that these roaches are now coming inside the main base. There will be a spine crawler here, of course. The Queen is here to help out with the defense as well, and Sjow is going to see that there's a lot of stuff coming out, but he's not coming home to defend, so he's going to have to be very careful back at home. We've got 2 Widow Mines, a bunker. There will be a couple of Hellbats here as well, and Sjow is, well, he's looking like he should be reasonably well protected for at least the first part of this bus, but is Zypher going to have enough units to get through here? Because there are going to be there is a Viking just patrolling around trying to clear out some of those overlords here, but here we go. Banelings now rolling forward. Widow Mines being taken apart by the Banelings, and he actually gets through. Zypher looking pretty decent, but I mean, is it enough? This is what we were talking about. You can certainly get through the first part of it, but will there be enough to follow up? And Zypher has only got 6 roaches left over here. This is something, you know, we spoke about it in Pigs games against Poyo. Very common to see this kind of roach bailing kind of bust come through from Zerg players when they're a little bit worried about things like Hellbats coming across the map. And while the majority of this attack has been cleaned up, Sjow now only has a Marauder and a couple of Marines here. The SCV is lifting up into the medevac, and it looks like Zypher is going to continue on with this pressure, continually sending these units across the map. Lots of lings on their way across the roaches. He will probably want to try and get inside the main base. If Zypher can just get inside there and stop the units that are producing from getting into battle, then he may be able to pretty much secure this victory. One small issue which we can see is that Banelings are going to try and roll up the ramp, but I think they may be picked off by the Widow Mine that's there. Yeah, that is very unfortunate for Zypher. Losing those 3 Banelings that morphed in to a single Widow Mine, not good at all. And so Sjow is going to hold together for the moment. More roaches on the way. We can see that there are a lot of lings coming through as well. The worker count currently sitting 30 to 33. So Sjow is sitting pretty comfortably at this point. I would like to see him try and wall off again, perhaps a couple of barracks or something like that, just to make sure that he is protected against any further Baneling attacks. But here we go. It looks like Sjow is going to have to be very careful right now. Widow Mine is going to activate, and again, the Widow Mine destroys the Banelings that were here. Sjow is having a very, very lucky time with those Widow Mine hits, and he is going to have to evacuate the natural, but wow, it looks like Sjow is going to lose some of his natural, maybe force. Yeah, lifts up the orbital command, and we can see that, well, so Zypher is going to continue on this pressure, but now he's decided that it's time to macro up. We've got a 3rd hatchery on the way, 2 Evo chambers back down at the natural, some drones also being researched right now, and the lair is on the way. But Sjow, what is he going to do? Is he going to lose everything here? It looks like he's trying to repair that factory, does not want to lose that, considering that he's building a couple of Widow Mines here, and it looks like Zypher is finally going to be forced down as the Widow Mines come into burrow, protecting the front door, and the roaches have finally cleaned up. So Zypher getting a decent amount of damage done, but I mean, back at home, his macro is still in a little bit of an awkward sort of position, because now what we're going to see are medevac drops with these Hellbats. I would not be surprised yet. We'll see some drops probably proceed across the map. We'll just wait and see if these Hellbats jump inside the medevacs, but we'll see if Zypher's going to be able to get his drone count up, because at the moment he's sitting at 44. Of course, not exactly a perfect position to be in at this stage of the game, but Sjow, if he can, yeah, there we go. It is going to be a big attack coming across from Sjow. We've got Widow Mines, we've got, well, wait, do we have a Widow Mine? No, we don't actually have a Widow Mine, my bad. We've got Hellbats, we've got Marines and Marauders. They're going to come across here. He should be able to stop this 3rd base. If he can drop in there and maybe kill off that 3rd base, he'll be very happy with that. But Sjow now going straight into the main base. He's got a lot of Marines and a lot of tankiness here with these Marauders and the Hellbats as well. Here they go, pushing forwards into the main mineral line. Lings streaming across. Hellbats are going to tear apart those Lings very quickly. The Banelings will come through, and it looks as if Zypher may be safe from this attack for the moment, but the drops are going to continue down at the 3rd. Dropping in, should be able to kill off a drone or 2. Perhaps the Hellbat just off to the side is going to get caught out by those Lings, and Sjow, it looks as if he is going to get stopped. A couple too many Lings there, or maybe not. Zypher a little bit unfortunate with his micro there. Sjow trying to pick up and then drop back down. is going to be able to put a fair amount of damage on this this hatchery here, and Sjow tries to target down some of the banelings there. Drones coming in as well. These 3 units are going to do so much damage if he could just stim them up again and attack into this hatchery. But the lings will come across. It looks like that will be the end of that for the moment for Sjow. So he's going to duck out of there, get this medevac, and head back home. And in fact, more units now coming up, so Sjow has got a lot of power now pushing up through the map here into the 3rd base. Zypher in a little bit of trouble right now. He's down at 52 drones, so not exactly a massive amount, but Hellbats are here, and Hellbats are pretty damn good units. We've got the 3rd orbital command now just set up for Sjow. He's going to try and push in. What? Sjow, oh my... He actually, he just walked straight into those banelings there. That was a little bit worrisome there for the Swedish Terran player. He's going to drop up at the top of the main base here. We'll see where he decides to go. He's sort of just floating about. I'm not exactly sure what the plan is here from Sjow, but now going to go back down to the 3rd base. More units constantly rallying across the map. We can see Hellbats, Marines, and Marauders on the way. Sjow is even going to pull a couple of... oh no, he's going to move the SCVs across to the 3rd base, but the 3rd hatchery has gone down. Sjow is now going to evacuate for now while the rest of his units link up, and it looks like he's going to get prepared for a very powerful final push here against his Zerg opponent. Zypher, he's got some lings and some mutas now hatching, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's going to have so much to contend with. There are a lot of Marines here. The Hellbats are going to roast those lings, and there they go. But once Sjow moves into this position here, where he's sort of just sitting right here in this little middle bit, is able to easily defend against the mutas and the lings, and he's going to be able to have free reign over this mineral line. So the lings now coming down, banelings also just trying to waddle their way across, but I think it is just a little bit too much. Sjow may lose some of these units here, but I mean, when you consider that there have been so many workers killed here by Sjow, and more are still being roasted up across at the natural, and more drops now coming in, more units making their way across, and Sjow is definitely going to take this game. So game number 1 goes to the Terran player Sjow.